Designed for the world's #1 player, Anna Leigh Waters, the Paddletek Bantam ALW-C 14.3 is a user-friendly paddle that any level player can master. Weighing in around 7.5 to 7.8 ounces, and features a Polymer Composite Honeycomb core with a PT700 raw carbon fiber hitting surface. This signature paddle boasts a 14.3 millimeter thickness and brings the Bantam line of paddles into the carbon fiber era. Now Jason, you've never been #1 at anything in your life. How did this paddle elevate your already struggling game?
Well, thank you for that intro. I'm #1 in your heart, so that's what matters most. But I was very excited to get my hands on this paddle, as I know you were, because you're such a huge Anna Leigh Waters fan. The thing that stood out to me the most with this paddle was how maneuverable it was. Super whippy, super fast. It felt very compact in my hand, whether I was at the kitchen doing those very quick reaction volleys or attacking from the baseline. I felt like I could just swing the paddle really fast and get topspin on it and get it to kind of dip in. What were your first impressions of this paddle?
Yeah, Paddletek claims that this is very power oriented, but in my opinion, it's a bit more on the control. Now, considering the previous iteration of Bantam paddles was fiberglass, and this, being carbon fiber and having a little bit thicker width, I feel like I would need to add weight to get this paddle to where the previous Bantam paddles were. So already at this price point, I wouldn't feel good investing more money to get that power out of there. But I feel like it does play a little bit similarly to the TS5 Pro if you have hit with that paddle. Now, Paddletek claims that there's also a lot of forgiveness to this paddle, and I feel like that claim was true. I felt like anytime I was hitting outside of the sweet spot, I was getting a lot of forgiveness on my shot. So especially at the non-volley zone, if I'm doing dinks or if I'm in a defensive rally and I'm really hitting shots on the outer edge of the paddle face, I was getting the ball to come back over and it wasn't getting that wobble or that weird, deflection shot. Now, when it comes to spin, what did you think of the spin?
Well, I love the spin potential with this paddle, just because of how quick it is. Combine that with that raw carbon fiber face, I felt like I was able to get a ton of top spin on my shots. It was great for kind of those like low spin up shots right near the no volley zone, where I can kind of just flick it across and occasionally hit you with it. So I really like that potential, and I do enjoy using the slice backhand a lot on my returns. So I thought I was able to kind of knife in and keep my shots low there. What do you think about the spin?
Yeah, I felt like this had the most spin out of the entire Bantam line of paddles, but I didn't think it was so much spin that it stood out amongst other paddles on the market. So I thought it was kind of okay there. Now, looking at the grip, I didn't care for the grip so much because you can feel the edges on it. You can feel the sandwich materials on the edges. And something at this price point, I was expecting a little bit more of a premium grip, something a little more rounded. What did you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I would have liked a full palletized grip here. And my other issue with it is that it is a little bit shorter, and I do like to use two hands on the backhand sometimes, especially when I'm from the baseline. So I was wishing that the grip was just a little bit longer and it did have that full pallet.
Overall, I know this paddle was designed for ALW, and she's obviously crushing her opponents with it. I don't have an ounce of her skill, so I need something a little bit more added to my game. For something of this price point, I'm just expecting a lot more. However, disregarding price, I feel like it's a really solid all-around paddle, a bit more on the control-oriented side though.
Yeah, for me, I think overall, this is a really solid paddle. I will agree that you don't have the ounce of skill that she has. But I think it's really great for players that like to be really aggressive, that really optimize players that take full cuts at the ball, because it is very control oriented. And yeah, it has a lot of spin. I really enjoyed it. And for more information on this paddle or anything else pickleball related, make sure you go to totalpickleball.com.
Now, Jason, you've never been #1 in anything. How did this paddle